We're inundated with seeing the name pride this way and this way. Google will show you something like this, but I have no idea what that means. When I began hearing from the Creator in 2020 and making writings such as this, when studying the alphabet that I was referring to earlier in their numeric equations, I kept getting the name pride, and I didn't really understand why. It related to the 4321 equation and 94, as well as the pi code. You can see a lot of those numbers written right here. I was led to do a little more research on the name pride, and when I did, I found this video of Prince when he said, "I am music." And then he says, "I don't call it pride so much," and he does one of those shady side.
I don't call it pride so much. I don't call it pride so much. And I don't know that there is anything non-musically. I am music.
I began to notice after 40 years of watching that both pride and Prince contained the word pi, P-I-E. And then I turned it upside down. And when you know that the code for E as a capital E is 3, then it would be 319 or 316. I began to look and decipher that the word music, Misk, which is my mother's maternal family name, M-I-S-K-E, the word Prince, as well as the name pride, they both include the I-E, the I-E. So the music came to me as you and I, but then the names, Misk, Prince, and Pride, they all have the I-E, which I turned upside down, and you can see what I was talking about earlier. It became a 19 ID or a 6-1, or the pi equation. It became pi, and then if you take the words and write them this way, it's die. The pride die. And then it came to me from my life after life experience. Prince and Pride, Misk and music. You can see here in the spring of 2020, I share this on my Instagram when we found ourselves under lockdown and I started making all these strange and unique drawings. I included the name Pride, and I didn't really know why. I started to see that the ID was in the upside down writing. It was part of the name King as well as David, and that's the way that I saw it. So again, Pride, Prince, you know, David, the writings, these were all things that I did through 20 and 21. Over here in fine print, you can see that I was, when you write Vata, as in Vatican, V-A-T-I, and you write it upside down like here, it was being told to me that it was Annie, like as an anti-Christian. So Vata upside down is Vata, or Annie, anti-Christian, anti-Christ, and it also included the 1-9. I made some renderings that I didn't like so much because if you listen to the monologue, The War, then you know he talks about the RFID chip, and so the name Pride became very similar to the RFID upside down. I found these writings concerning because I had never really considered myself super religious. I don't use the word religion, it's real legion. But when I was writing things about the ID and King David, these things about the Vatican and stuff like that, they would come to me, and then it started relating to the ID 19 situation that we find ourselves in now. Look at the word pi for a minute, P-I. P is the 16th letter of the alphabet, and I is the 9th letter. So what we have here really is a duplicate of itself. It's the mirror writing that I was referring to before. And it also showed you how this calculation here spells the word opioid. O-P-I-O-I-D. No matter what it was hitting me as the mathematical equation pi equals 314 because of the P-R-I-D-E in my name. Here, when they're referring to the graphics about the love symbol and how they would type it out, you can see right here below me, it says not every font needs a pi. So the pi code 16, ID 19 is built right in. Built into what, you may ask? Well, the code, it was when I was in the life after the Creator and I remember sort of very fuzzily looking into these life books and how my name was Pride with the ID, because I remember specifically saying to him, because one thing my mom did when I was a girl was I would listen to her talk to people on the phone, and every time she would say our last name, she would say Marsha Pride, Pride, and she would spell it. I do the same thing because people are always misinterpreting what you're saying because the last name is so rare. And the only way that people are used to hearing it is, well, in this day and age, is for the gay pride. And again, I have to say, in case you're new here, I love all people. I have nothing against gay people. What I have something against is my family name being stolen, used as one of the deadly sins, as only gay pride, which really only represents a small part of the community. You shouldn't see a rainbow flag and automatically think gay, you know, and the name Pride, you know, you shouldn't automatically think that, because it's not that I'm saying you shouldn't be represented. I'm saying that my last name has been broken down in a way to represent the pride before the fall, to be on that list in a negative way, to be seen in a negative light. So as I listened to my mom say it throughout the years, it stuck in my head. So when I was talking to the creator and he told me that we were going to use the ID code, and moreover, that the 314 equals pi mathematical equation had something to do with the Pride name because it spells it out Kabbalistically. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. I'm sure you can see how this says Prince. However, the P and the R are facing each other. The I and the V make the N, and then it's CE. It's how the secret writing looks and works. Notice not only the ID 1991 underlined, but also 1999. That is a plan to use against him with the 666. I've explained the anti-Christian plan in other videos. So in Gematria, you can take the 1999, or it can be 319 because there's 3 nines. 319 like the song 319 and the song 1999, or Love to the Nines. It's why every file in the investigation, the Prince investigation, starts with 16 because it's the reverse of pi. And then the 12559 is 319 because 1 and 2 is 3, 5 and 5 is 10, and then it's 9. So it's 319. So it's in essence 16319 or 1619 or 69. It's how the magic egg works. The GE or EP. That's me. This is one of my drawings that I made, and you can see it, how it has the ID 19 on either side, and it actually spells out the name Pride as well. These really cool things that happen are because the creator is with me and he's sharing the information with me, so I'm trying to share it with you. The word fam, it was notoriously known that Prince said he wanted his fans to refer to themselves as fam, because fan was short for fanatic. But more importantly, what you see here is a shortened version of family, and F is the 6th letter of the alphabet. A is the 1st letter. M is the 13th, but since the 1 and the 3 are already there and they make 13, the shortened version of that is 613. Or again, pi, P-I, and it literally spells pie, like American pie. And what you see below, the 9-4, is the 6 turned upside down, and you add the 1 and the 3 to have 4. So when you look at the name Pride, P-R-I-D-E, which is Prince or Pride. Also important to note that here where the P and the R come together, it creates an 8. Because 8 plus 8, as in the 808, Moline Airport, it's the the Moline Quad City Airport, has everything to do with the other 808, Maui. So go watch the Maui Prince and Electricity videos. It will totally make sense. So we have the 808, the 16, and the 19. So let's call it 1619. In upside down gematria, the consonants make D, V, C, or CVD. This is the word devakut. It means closeness or oneness to the Creator. The fact that the consonants CVD are visible, why? Because C and K are the same consonants, much like Calvin Klein or, well, C and K, they make the same noise. Also, when you zoom in on this portion of the word, because vowels are interchangeable, you can see the word Eve within the middle as well as devil. This is how the wordplay works. P is the 16th letter, R is the 18th, I is the 9th, D is the 4th, E is the 5th, but they work in a 3 because it's 33rd degree gematria. So, the reason it says 18 or 3 is because the R can represent a 1 and a 2, and it can equal 3. For the sake of this conversation, it's going to remain in 18. 16 carried across is 7, 18 carried across is 9, 9 across is 9, 4 plus 3 is 7. So we have 7, 9, 9, 7. Those both equal 16, giving us the pi equation. Down below the fam 613, pi, it's either pi or PIE, or IDE, pride. My birthday, 12/19/1970. 12 plus 7 is 19, so my birthday equals 319. 12 plus 19 plus 70, here at the bottom. 9 plus 2 is 11, 7 plus 2 is 9. So again, with the pi code on my birth date, 319. I'll spare you the mathematics. Take a look, do the equations. My name comes out to 169119. The nickname Skipper, S being the 19th letter, K 11, and so on. Skipper calculates down to 369, or the 916 equation, as does the name Isaiah, my son's name. Even the calculations for the word Kedem, which is the time before time, the space place that the Creator shares with me, his intellect and his knowledge and wisdom. Even the calculations to that break down to the 314 equals pi.
I am what I am, and that's all what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Good thing I ate my spinach. You pick up that bimbo.